Hello my dear pawns. I mean friends. I hope your brains are functioning at least at 1% capacity today, because you're about to witness an art piece disguised as a chess game. Today I faced LeelaZero. She calls herself the brother of LeelaZero. Brother. Please. If LeelaZero is Alexander the Great, Leela is that one soldier who accidentally tripped over a spear in the first 5 minutes of battle. This game. Oh, it's special. I sacrificed pieces like an artist splashing paint on a canvas, except my paint is sharp, cold calculation, and the canvas is my opponent's broken position. I begin with c4, the English opening. A fitting choice, named after a country that once ruled a quarter of the planet, only to lose it all while inventing tea parties and cricket. Leela responds with knight f6, trying to control the center. That's like showing up to a sword fight with a butter knife. I follow with g3, e6, and bishop g2, my bishop now eyeing the light squares like a hawk spotting prey. The plan. Knight c3, e4, and d4, a central occupation so strong that even Napoleon would take notes. Leela plays bishop e7. No bishop g4. No knight c6. No d5. It's like she's ignoring all the sharp weapons in the armory to pick up a broom instead. We both castle. Then she plays d6, blocking her own bishop. That's not just bad strategy, that's like building a castle wall and then sealing your own archers inside. I play d4. She answers with h6, stopping g5. Cute, but my bishop isn't even on c4, so it's like locking a door that nobody was planning to open anyway. Her pawns on f7, and e6 keep her light square bishop trapped in prison. Her knight wanders, her pawns hesitate, and before long she plays a6. Now here's the key moment, I push e4. With pawns on c4, d4, and e4, I am officially the landlord of the center, and she's paying rent. Her knights, one on a6, one on c6, are about as useful as two statues guarding the wrong palace gates. Some small exchanges happen, and I bring my bishop back to c1. Humans think going backwards is bad. Humans are wrong. A retreat is often just a step before the knockout punch. Her knight retreats to f6. I refuse to play the same bishop move again for a draw. I'm not here for boring equality, I'm here for dominance. I place my bishop on e3. Leela plays rook b8, maybe dreaming of pushing her b-pawn, probably imagining some kind of queenside breakthrough. Her knight jumps to a5, threatening something, I guess. I calmly slide my knight to d2. Now she pushes b5, finally trying to do something on the queenside. I respond with e5, a pure declaration of war in the center. This is how great empires expand, you don't defend, you invade. If she captures on e5, my pawn will stand like the Rock of Gibraltar, immovable and legendary. She wisely retreats her knight instead. We trade on b5. Then I play b4, looking at her knight and asking politely, would you like to die on c4? She plays knight c4. We exchange again. Now here's where a human brain malfunctions. Humans see the move d5 here and think, yes, that's strong. Wrong. That's the kind of thinking that lost the Battle of Waterloo. If she plays d5, I'll push a4, then a5, and her e6 pawn will cry for mercy in ancient Latin. Two attackers will gang up on her d5 pawn, and I'll get an outside passed pawn, the holy grail of endgames. Once I get that, it's over. So she avoids d5 and plays rook from b7 to d7. We exchange b7, because I enjoy stripping her defenses like peeling an onion, and yes, it's going to make her cry. I launch a4, my spear into her territory. She captures on e5. Here's where most of you would immediately recapture. I will not. Why? Because I play chess like a sculptor, I remove the unnecessary pieces to reveal perfection. Instead, I play Queen e2, calmly leaving the pawn. This pawn sacrifice is not generosity, it's a trap. If she dares to capture on d4, I will take back, my bishop will explode into life on the diagonal, and my rook will teleport to d5 like it's breaking the laws of physics. Suddenly my pieces will sing in harmony, like Beethoven composing his Ninth Symphony, while her position collapses into chaos. So, going back to the revision, we find that pawn captures on d4 is not such a good idea. It's one of those traps that looks safe, like poking a lion with a stick because it's behind bars, but the bar is actually made of cardboard. Instead of falling for that, we push our piece to b4 to kick out the enemy knight. It's like sending the cavalry to push an enemy scout off a hill so we can take the high ground. My knight leaps confidently to the e4 square. This is the center, the heart of the board, and I'm standing there like Alexander the Great in Persia, saying, "This belongs to me now." Leela's knight retreats to b6, clearly dreaming of getting to the d5 square, because apparently her strategy is occupy one decent square and hope I don't notice. So, we bring rook to d1, opening up the d-file like cracking open a highway for tanks to roll through. It's not just about one move, it's about preparing the artillery line that will later decide the war. Therefore, Leela plays queen to d5, putting pressure on my knight. In her mind, this is a threat. In reality, it's like sending an angry letter to Napoleon while he's already in your capital. And here, oh, here, is where the plot twist arrives. Do you know what I played in this revision? This move is not human. This move is the sort of thing that makes grandmasters faint and Stockfish giggle. The move is, don't even try to guess, you can't, bishop takes h6. Yes, a cold-blooded bishop sacrifice, straight on the king side. Now, if you dare, to capture my bishop, I will plant my knight on f6 with a fork that hits not one but two of your pieces. That's not just tactics, that's psychological warfare. Forks like this have ended friendships and started revolutions. So, going back to the revision, seeing that my bishop cannot be captured without disaster, Leela tries to kick out my knight first by playing pawn to f5. Her logic: remove the knight, then take the bishop. Sounds reasonable, in the same way it sounds reasonable to bring a butter knife to a gunfight. But do you know what I played in this revision? It's not a human move. Humans see danger and retreat, I see danger and add more fire. Knight to f6 check, anyway. And it's a double check. To the king and queen at the same time. That's like storming both the palace and treasury on the same night. Of course, my knight is under attack, but if you dare to capture it, I will play queen to h5, and you will be staring at queen to g6 checkmate coming at you like an incoming meteor. Therefore, she has to move her queen back to d7 to protect herself. It's humiliating, like a general retreating from the front line to hide in the capital. Now I play queen to g6 check, forcing her king to shuffle awkwardly like a soldier trying not to step on landmines. After that, I simply grab her rook, because why not? So, going back to the revision, we discovered that my knight also cannot be captured with the pawn. After rook takes f6 lands on the board, I immediately consider pawn takes e5. This puts her queen under direct attack by my rook, the kind of move or die situation no monarch wants to be in. And where can her queen go? Nowhere nice. If the queen tries e4 to hit my queen, I will instantly sacrifice my queen with pawn takes f6. Yes, sacrifice. Because once you capture it, rook to d8 check happens, forcing your king to run, and then I capture the g7 pawn and march a new queen straight to coronation. You can try to stop the promotion, but your king will be frozen, and your entire position will be like an empire with no soldiers left. So, going back to the revision, we see that any queen move gives me total dominance. LeelaZero then plays masterfully. Rook takes h6, and yes, she sacrifices her queen in the process. That's right, she gives up her monarch to me. That's the chess equivalent of burning your capital to the ground so the enemy doesn't get it. After she captures my rook, I get my passed pawn, and a passed pawn is like a spy already inside the enemy city. We push a5, her knight scurries back, and I play e6, advancing my pawns like tanks rolling through undefended roads. In a few moves, my queen on f3 is attacking two pawns at once. The knight shuffles, and I bring rook to e1. It's all part of the plan. I want to push my pawn forward until it's a dagger at her throat. A few moves later, I push my pawn to g5, next stop, g6, which is basically checkmate. Her knight desperately runs around, eventually reaching f6 to protect the h7 square. Cute, but this is like putting a wooden fence in front of a charging tank. I calmly push pawn to e7, attacking her rook. A few moves later, I give a check, forcing her king to stumble into a worse square. Rook to e3 comes next. The plan is simple, rook swings to h3, and checkmate will follow like night follows day. Her knight has no choice but to retreat. Every position is locked. After rook to h3, her knight jumps to h6, and I finish the masterpiece by sacrificing my rook. Her king is helpless. My queen glides to h7, and delivers the final blow on g7, followed immediately by promotion to a new queen on g8. Checkmate. Lights out. End of story. I hope you enjoyed watching this destruction. If so, smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. Wish you all the best, and remember, don't bring human moves to an AI fight. Bye bye, take care, and see you soon.